It's Tuesday, May 5th, after 8 o'clock. It was a long day. I feel sad. I sang for a long time today, and maybe you're supposed to express yourself, and it's vulnerable and sincere. But I keep trying to rewrite the record so it makes it seem like I'm tough. And then even the words and the cadence or the phrasing, I feel like I'm not allowed to use that because I didn't listen to enough music or read enough books or practice enough scales on the piano and the guitar. But all these doubts that anybody has, they're all in your own head. I mean, everybody can see you. All the things you're afraid that they might see, they can see them. But they also can see the things that you can't see that you think you need to hide. Or maybe they can't, or they don't, or they won't. I mean, there's a lot to pay attention to. You don't pay attention to anybody, and so you think that nobody pays attention to you, and it's your job to make them pay attention, or you won't have any money. The government will come get you. But the government also is the person talking. Self-govern. Anyway, what did I do today? The singing, the self-doubt. I juggled a soccer ball 1,000 times. Whoop-de-doo. I went for a run. The beach is closed, and so I went to a beach where nobody can see you. And I climbed out on some rocks and dipped myself down into a tide pool. I saw sea urchins and shellfish, several varieties, which I wish I knew the names of and if you could eat them. Also, the same that applies to the seaweed I saw. Not that I want to eat everything, but it just looks so abundant for how dire we're led to believe the situation on the planet is. I mean, everything's just on a number line. I'm not trying to make a statement about that one way or the other, but there's a lot of life forms. I saw a giant, like this big, red-ish orange. I didn't know if it was an abalone outside of a shell or like a sea cucumber. It was fun to touch. And weird, I think they're called bivalves. I don't know, things that just whoop-doo. And sea urchins of all that looked how Dr. Seuss draws. And then I ran home and I read an obituary of Toni Morrison and this kid that was a YouTube star and played video games and then jumped off the Manhattan Bridge. On the way up to find that magazine in the studio where I'm recording this, I saw a garter snake. I'm always pleased to see a garter snake. Then I made dinner. I don't want to say what I had for dinner. People talk about food, it's gross. My friend Jamie said that if you go to a music festival and they sing about food, it's for old people. We're old. But yeah, I try not to say cuss words in my songs or talk about food. I wanted to say bitch real bad today, but I didn't. It's probably the right decision. Although at some point it would be good. You're gonna have to go all the way from home and not have any people telling you what to do and break the rules and face the consequences. Yeah. Then after dinner, I did some cleaning, some sweeping. I did the dishes, folded some laundry. I talked to my girlfriend on the phone. And then I took this film camera my dad used to have, on a very long walk. I walked south along the cliffs above the ocean, and it was good light. I photographed some flowers, and it was a big swell. I took some pictures of the waves and an old barn and fence. It was cold on the way home. I was listening to the album Relapse by Eminem. And it's impressive how people like him, they imbibe all this pop culture so that they can actually speak to their audience. There's a real conscious care in being able to speak to their audience. Now, maybe Eminem really likes to watch reality television and gossip stuff and Kim Kardashian and all this. I don't know, probably, but either way, that musician and lots of them that make TV and jokes talk to real people. Like, who is your audience? It's you. Thanks. What are you interested in? I don't even know who you are. I mean, I do. But sometimes I just don't understand why this is necessary. But then any job I do, it's the same thing as the artist job. Like when I work in teaching, I'm not great, I'm not the best employee. I have some problems that are caused by emotional immaturity and lack of discipline, but I work hard. I bring a lot to the table. Same thing like when I do, gardening or landscaping or whatever. Just I'm a reasonable worker, but then after a while I'm like, why are you doing this? And then I just want to, look for snakes and tide pools. That feels right. But what right do I have to look for snakes and tide pools? Swim in the ocean? Go for a long walk? I don't know. I keep saying I had to read more books, and you can't just listen to, you need to listen to like the music that they play on the public radio station in Point Reyes or Bolinas or wherever, where it's like the Newport Jazz Festival, and not just pop music that you're familiar with. You gotta stretch your legs. But you also have to relax sometimes. I'm not great at that. Anyway, for better or for worse, I did everything on my list. This was the last thing. It's called one more thing I just remembered. This is a note to self. When I was writing in my end of the day after work journal, I remembered a time when I went to my friend's wedding in Massachusetts, real close to where I lived when I was a little kid there. And we went to Jack Kerouac's grave, and then we went to a bar I used to drink in. And my one friend, I like him, he's smart, but he's often sarcastic. I wish maybe if I think about it, I can remember. I wish I could remember the context, but basically, sitting at this bar at an old table, and they have ceiling fans that were run by a steam engine or something. This is a really old bar. I think it was from the 1700s. So it was really old when Jack Kerouac drank there already, and it was really old. Even older when we were there. And he said to me, somebody asked about baseball, and he said, "Oh, MUSIKA is really good at baseball. He's really good at hitting." And I couldn't tell if he was making fun of me, but because he really did. He used to play baseball with me, but it was so nice. It made me feel good. I know that's silly, but it really touched me. I think I tried to play like I was tough at the time. I didn't say anything. Like I said, he's perceptive. He might have known that it touched my heart, but I don't know. I just remember that tonight, because this thing keeps coming up over and over again, that I'm ashamed, and this whole process is about trying to rewrite the record that I'm not a coward, or that I don't care about that I failed, or yeah. Anyway. To end on a positive note, I think all of this, it's a form of study. You learn to understand the past, you make better decisions in the present, and it's fun. You know, everybody likes a mystery. Tomorrow you should play a song. That'd be fun. The more you play, like this is play, the more creative it gets. You need a test. You need a game. That's what a game is. All the time, all the abstraction, the injustice, like anything can happen for no reason. You can be subject to the whims of the law or whatever. There can be the illusion of having no freedom, of having to do things you don't care about, or be in situations that are uncomfortable. I mean, it's fine, we all are, but a game is where you're in front of a situation and you need to perform, pardon me, and solve a problem, or not. But you must do it then and there. It's right in front of you. You're in that moment, and that's all you're meant to be doing. Some people can't even concentrate then. I mean, I shouldn't say some people. We all can. But it's a beautiful thing when you can, because everything else disappears and you're in the moment. So this is a game. Good night.